folks! Today I'm gonna do something totally different and show you exactly what it takes to run my YouTube channel and make one of my videos. I put a lot of work into every single one of them, so I thought you might be interested to see how I do it. It's not actually that difficult, it just takes a lot of time, usually about 3 solid days of work for one 15-minute video. But I'm about to show you all my little secret tips and tricks. So for the next few days, that's days in my time, just minutes in your time, I'm gonna give you a good look at the process. And yeah, I know people say that a good magician never reveals his tricks, but I was never a good magician anyway, so here goes. Okay, I just released my budget video last night at 9 p.m. and I was up until 3:30 a.m. answering all the comments, and it's now about 8 o'clock the next morning. So I got about 4 hours sleep. That happens twice a week, which is why I don't really look forward to release nights, because I have to stay up all night and yeah, it's quite tiring, guys. So first order of business, a cup of coffee. So be right back. Okay, I got my coffee and toast for breakfast, and as I'm waking up, I'm gonna start reading and releasing all the comments that got posted after I fell asleep last night. Because when it's night here, it's daytime in the West. So I always have a huge backlog of comments waiting for me when I wake up, with about 4 more hours of new ones coming in until it starts to quiet down, usually around noontime. And it's not just comments on the videos. I also have to answer all the messages on Patreon, respond to emails, and handle text messages too, which will probably take me all morning, so I need more coffee. Okay, I finished the comments and took a shower, so now it's time to start doing Tuesday's video. So what's the very first step? Well, the most critical thing to making a good video is having something to say. I know a lot of people just have a general idea and then they wing it. That's fine. Some people are good at it, but it's not me. I want to make videos that kind of tell a story with a beginning and an end. And to do that, you have to know what information you want to give to the viewer. To do that, you have to write it first. Unless I'm doing an interview like a casual afternoon lunch date like the one I did with Gracie, I write out my videos to make sure I cover everything and also put humor into it. Now, I already have a schedule of videos I want to make. I've usually decided on the topics a few weeks before. I'll do a serious one, and then I'll maybe do an interview, then a comedy. That's my favorite. That way, it keeps everything mixed up, so you never know what's coming up. Today, I'm doing a comedy video about expats. Ooh, I love comedy, and I think this is going to be one of my favorites. I've done a couple of funny scammer videos about Filipinas, so I'm gonna cover the other side. I already made some notes about some stuff I want to talk about. I write things down as I think of them, sometimes weeks or even a month in advance. But right now, it's not even really an outline yet. So it's just, just scattered thoughts and a few funny lines, I hope. I think I'm gonna do this one like I did the Don't Feed the Scammers videos, where I break it into chapters and describe each kind of expats in its own chapter with a funny name on it, like Mr. Now You See Him, Now You Don't. So the first thing I have to do is figure out the categories of expats and what I'm gonna say about each one. I already got the player, the guy that's not serious, and the guy who makes a lot of promises he won't keep, but usually I need about 7 to 10 categories if possible, so that the video's, long enough. You always want to try for a 10-minute or longer video, so I have to be sure I have enough material to get that much footage. In this kind of comedy video, I think it's funnier if I talk kind of fast, but that makes it even shorter, so I have to be very careful. But this one should be really easy for me because I already know about all these guys, and please don't ask me how I know these guys. I get to write from my personal experience, and I don't have to ask anybody else about the categories or do a lot of research first. Those videos, the ones I have to research, like the 1,000 Ways to Die or the one about love and lust, those can take an extra half a day just to look everything up to be sure I'm not saying anything wrong, and that really slows me down. But probably not this one. So I'm just gonna lay here and think of all the expats that women should avoid and why, and write down whatever comes to mind along with anything funny that I can think of. That's the first step. Okay, I think I got all my headings, the chapters, and some of the funny lines and some of the titles for each kind of guy. But I want to put cultural references in a few places, stuff that the audience will know about and hopefully connect with. I always do that because everybody likes them and they seem to amaze people, but it's actually really easy to do. So right now, I've written this part about the, how alpha males like to be the pilot in their own lives, and how a woman who's the co-pilot might have to bail out if the relationship's not working because the guy controls everything too much. Now, I wanted to stick a cultural reference in here. So I'll use my secret weapon, Google. Hey, there's a lot of things you can know and learn about in Google University. So all I have to do is type in famous person who jumped out of a plane. And the first result is D.B. Cooper. Now, I didn't know who that was at first, but when I read about it, I remembered seeing a documentary about him. And I figure if D.B. Cooper is the top search result, then most people will know who he is. I can't count on that, but I have a way to find out that I'll show you later. I read some comments from my budget video where people were surprised that I knew who Ted Kaczynski was. Well, that was even easier because I just watched a show about him on Netflix, The Unabomber. Same thing when I said, Danger Will Robinson, which is from Lost in Space on Netflix as well. You'd be amazed how much you pick up from watching Western TV, but if you combine it with Google University, there's pretty much nothing I can't find out when I need to put it in a script. I'm gonna do the same thing with the headings for one of the chapters about the guy who dates a lot of women at once. I originally called it The Casanova. But that really just means a guy who's good with women. I want to find a name that means he's cheating on a lot of women. But when I Google search famous historical cheaters, I get things like Tiger Woods and Donald Trump. And calling the chapter The Trump just doesn't sound like what I'm going for. So I'm going to leave it as The Casanova, but I'll put a question mark after it, which means I want to change it if there's something better. Okay, I grabbed the late lunch and now I'm working on fine-tuning every single phrase and every single sentence. And this is gonna take a lot of time, and here's where I usually use an online dictionary or a thesaurus. I've written a line that says, sometimes he has a ridiculous story about a secret mission behind enemy lines. But I've already used the word ridiculous and I want to find something funnier to say there. So I used my Merriam-Webster thesaurus to look up synonyms for ridiculous. The first result is absurd. It's kind of plain. But the second one is cockamamie. Now that's funny. It sounds funny to say, so it probably sounds funny to hear, so I'm going to use it instead. And the phrase becomes, sometimes he has a cockamamie story about a secret mission behind enemy lines. I like that a lot better. And for rhyming words, you can easily search the rhyming words for anything you want. I have a section called The Honey Dipper. And I needed a punchline for the end of that section. So I look up words that rhyme with dipper. And there's a bunch of them. including zipper, which is perfect because it's got a little innuendo in there too. So I'm gonna go through the entire thing like that and rework every single sentence and every single word till I think it sounds just right. This part can take a lot longer than anything else, so guys, I'm kind of OCD about my videos. Okay, now I need to take a break and start releasing comments again because they're gonna start piling up if I don't. I'm gonna answer the ones I can, but probably don't have time to answer the ones that get posted now because I still have to do a few hours of refining my script and I have to eat dinner too. Now, what's for dinner? So now I'm just laying in bed and talking to people I talk to just about every day. But I need to sleep, guys, because it's getting late here. And a lot of times you guys will say, "Hey P, why are you still up?" Well, I'm up because I'm still answering you. But anyway, I really need to go to sleep and I'll see you in the morning. Good night. I've already been up a while and the morning routine's the same as yesterday. I'm releasing comments that got posted while I was sleeping and I'll try to respond to some before I finish up the script. Okay, I think I got everything finished the way I want it, but now I have to see if it's as good as I think it is. So I'm gonna send it to some friends or patrons to see what they say. Because, if there were any grammatical errors or jokes that aren't funny, things that they don't get, or things that could be better, at least I'll know what they are and I'll have a time to fix them. A lot of times I'll contact patrons or even post a line or a punchline on my Patreon page and ask everyone whether or not they think it's funny so that I can see if it's something the regular viewers will get. It's kind of like a focus group, and it really helps a lot. Now, remember yesterday when I said I had a way to see if the DB Cooper reference was gonna work? Well, that's how I do it. If I'm not sure about something, I know someone will say, "Who the heck is DB Cooper?" And I'll have time to change it. Okay, I'm all set for filming tomorrow. Let's get this show on the road. The final changes won't take long, and someone actually solved my Casanova problem. They suggested that I use Lothario instead, and when I looked it up, it's perfect. It means a selfish, irresponsible guy who has a lot of women, and that's just what I was looking for. So, thanks, you know who you are. So I'm gonna eat dinner and answer some more comments, and tonight I'm gonna treat myself to a little Netflix show. There's a show called Edge of the Universe that I've been wanting to watch, so now is my chance. By the way, my friends think this is kind of annoying, but I have a good tip for anyone who wants to learn English, or I guess any other language. Whenever I watch something, I always turn on the subtitles. That way, my eyes can't help reading the words at the same time I hear the dialogue. The reason it helps me so much is that when people just listen to a foreign language, they ignore the words they don't know and just focus on what they already do know. But if I see it at the same time as I read it, it not only helps me with the spelling, but I learn twice as many phrases that I didn't know before. And they stick in my head better too. So, any of you guys that wanna improve your English, try it sometimes. Anyways, see you tomorrow in my studio. Okay, so welcome to my studio. I'm running a little late this morning because I did spend some time releasing comments, but I didn't get finished because I had to get dressed. I picked this outfit because it's been a while since I wore black and it's easy to match against almost any background. As you can see, I use a green screen. Well, even though this is blue, it doesn't matter if you use blue or green because it still works. I just use duct tape to stick the fabric to the wall. And then when I'm editing it, I can drop any photo or background that I want to use. The only equipment I use is my cell phone for the camera. It's Realme 7 Pro, kind of cheap phone made in India, but it has a good camera and also it has a good battery. And since the very beginning of my channel, I've used these light boxes over here and my cybernetic wireless mics for audio. Nothing fancy, and for now, it's all I need. And for videos where I use a script, I use my laptop as a teleprompter. And I just sit it on the shelf behind the camera like this. So this is my teleprompter just on the shelf behind the camera. And I can also adjust the speed of the text. And I use this foamy stuff over here to absorb sound. I'm not sure if it's really working, but I read about it on the internet. So yeah, believe it or not, that's my studio. And I don't even have anything that's very expensive. There's a bunch of equipment I'd like to have, but nothing else I have to have. So that's all for filming. Now, filming this one shouldn't be a big deal because it's not that long or complicated, but it'll still take me a few hours to get it right. If I stumble over my words or lose my place or mispronounce a word, I start that section all over again because I want it to be perfect. I've actually spent 5 hours shooting a really long video before, and that was really hell. And that's before I even start editing all the footage, which I'll probably do that tomorrow. So, okay, let's do this. Hi folks, the Filipina P here. And as you know, I like to give both sides of every story whenever I can. In my previous videos, I've warned you what kind of Filipinas to avoid. So this time, I'm gonna turn the tables and let you ladies know what kind of expats might not be the best companions. Not that these are all bad. Okay, I'm finished with the filming, so I'm now gonna grab some lunch, go to the grocery store because I haven't left the house for 3 days, and then come back and start choosing the clips that I'm going to edit tomorrow. I usually have a lot more footage than I need. I have to sort them out and pick the ones I like the best. Then tonight, I'm gonna try to catch up on all the emails and make sure I finish releasing the comments I didn't get to this morning. I was just too busy. Well, if I have any time left, I'm gonna try to reshoot the Star Trek ending that I released with my budget video. I had a thought of a funnier line for the end of that video, and I posted a video on Patreon asking my patrons what they thought and if they want to have me redo that. So that's another project I have to squeeze in. Okay, I'm gonna reshoot the funny Star Trek ending, but I have to change the blue fabric to green fabric on the background, or else my blue dress will disappear when I green screen it. Well, I can't have that. But I can't show you the finished product yet because you're not supposed to see it until it comes out a few videos from now. This will probably take an hour or two. So hopefully I'll get to bed at a decent time because I won't hardly sleep at all tomorrow night. The dreaded release night. Well, here I am again, up way too late and still going. I got the filming of the outro done, but then I got tied up on doing messages, so now I'm finally shutting it down and I'm gonna go to bed. Good night. Good morning! Time to get editing. I'm gonna grab my coffee and my laptop and I'll meet you right back here. Okay, so today I have to edit the video. Now sometimes this process can take all day and sometimes it takes a couple of hours. It all depends on if I'm using a lot of overlays or a bunch of different audio or video tracks. The one I mentioned before, 1,000 Ways to Die, that took me a full day to edit that because I had to insert all those clips that I got from other videos plus the footage I shot myself during the typhoon. One like this though isn't gonna be too bad because I do have some text boxes to drop in with the names of different expats, but that's not too complicated. I've done much harder ones before. So what I'm going to do right now is import all the clips I shot yesterday from my phone onto my laptop, string them all together, and also pick a background photo to replace the green screen with. Then after I've done the green screening, I have to create the text boxes and do audio clips where I say, the names of all the expat types and I fit those tracks in. Then I have to add one of my outro scenes, but I'm gonna use an old one because I just released a new one last Friday. Finally, after I'm all done with that, I have to compress and export the video onto the desktop, and then it'll be ready to upload to YouTube, so I'll get busy. Okay, I finished the editing. I watched the final version of the video. Yay! And now I'm gonna upload it. But yeah, my internet here is very, very slow. Even a short video can take up to 45 minutes. And once it's in YouTube, there's still you have to do a lot of things. You still have to write the description. You have to check this form that asks if you have any sex or violence or nudity, controversial material. I'm gonna say no to all of that because there's nothing objectionable in this particular one. And then you have to wait up to 2 hours while YouTube scans your video for any copyright infringements. I want to get this done as early as I can because I like to send it to a few of my friends so that they can take a look at it and tell me if there's something wrong that I didn't catch. Once there was one. There was one time that I was uploading Dare the P2. Oh my God, I had a wardrobe malfunction when I was climbing the coconut tree. The person filming the the person filming on the ground accidentally shot up my shirt, and there were a few frames that I had to edit out that I didn't catch. So to me, getting people to look at it before it goes public is very important during the process because, as you know, well, okay. So anyway, I'll get all this done and I'll see you at release time. Okay, folks, I'm set to go. Looking at the clock right now, it's 8 p.m. and publish. So that's how I make videos and run my channel. I hope you enjoyed it, and now I gotta read and release comments all night, and the process starts all over again. For those of you that might want to call me boring, I am boring, and work is pretty much all I do. But if you want to start your own YouTube channel, just remember that if you have creativity and you're willing to work really hard, there's nothing I do that you can't do. Till next time, folks. If you think about it, I'm kind of like your chef, cooking up gourmet content for you connoisseurs of quality videos. The only thing I ask for my talent in the kitchen is a small thank you in the form of a thumbs up on this video and subscribing to my channel. And while you're waiting for your next culinary masterpiece, why not enjoy some of my other videos too? And if you find a really long black hair in your food, he did it.